I've had them
when
all.
you broke the world record for chin-ups, didn't you rip your arm apart?
Pull-ups, yeah. So if you pull up the picture, man, there's a picture of my hand. You'll see, I don't know.
What is it? Pull-ups are...
So pull-ups are here.
Hands out.
Yeah, hands out.
And chin-ups are hands forward.
Right, hands forward.
Okay.
So I failed 3 times. I failed twice before I finally got it the third time. And the first time I ripped the shit out of my forearm. And then the second time, you'll see there's a picture of my hand, and it's a 3rd-degree burn. So that's my hand.
Oh, Jesus, man. What in the fuck is going on? It looks like you got bit by a wolf.
So what's funny about that is you see that that doesn't create after one pull-up. So if you can imagine the pain of, because you have one contact point. That's it. Like running, you can overcome it because you have these big giant legs, and it's different. When you have these little fragile punk-ass hands touching the bar, imagine 4,030 pull-ups, how many times you're coming on that bar, coming off. Right. And I weighed 207 pounds at the time. So I was a bigger guy. I'm like 195 or 185 now. So I was 22 pounds heavier. So I was a lot bigger. There I am right there.
Yeah,
Bam.
you look pretty thick.
Get that shit, man.
So you were doing it in sets of 5?
Sets of 5. So, and as you see, I have these different people who are witnessing you. You have to have your number there to make sure that you're qualified for the Guinness Book of World Records. That's 1450. I have a long way to go. I have another 4,015 pull-ups to go right there.
Jesus Christ.
So, yeah.
And how long did you do this over? 24 hours?
It was 7. So I broke it at 17.
Wow.
And I was fucking over it.
What did it feel like on the last chin-up?
You know what? Actually, there's a video that we have, and I was chasing this guy named Stephen Highland. So this guy named Stephen Highland had the record. And the video is my last 3 pull-ups before I broke the record. I'm talking so much shit to this motherfucker. I'm like, hey, motherfucker, you thought I wasn't going to get it, huh? I told you, bitch-ass motherfucker, I'm coming after you. I'm here now. It's just me talking shit. It's a cool video, but I felt nothing. I was just happy that I had to do more. I did 67,000 pull-ups in 9 months.
Jeez.
In training Christ. For a record for 4,000. And the failures, so I did the first time in September, failed miserably on the day, so I did 2,588 or some shit like that. Failed miserably for millions of people. 2 months later, November, tried again, failed again. 2 months later, in January 19th, I finally fucking got it. So after I got it, it wasn't like I'm happy. It was like, I ain't got to do more fucking pull-ups anymore. Roger that. That's all it was. I had to fucking check that bitch off, man.
But you were doing them when I got here today.
You know why? Because now it's a part of me, dude. It's a part of me, man. I don't like doing them, so we're gonna knock some out.
You don't like doing them, so you got to do them.
That's my whole life.
Isn't it like someone gets drunk on a certain whiskey, like if they smell it, they'll get disgusted, like
right.
It's like Jägermeister or something like that. If they smell it, and they'll, ugh. Right. Is that what it's like with you with chin-ups?
With a lot of things.
With pull-ups?
With a lot of things.
With a lot of things
yeah.
now, right?
I don't like running. I don't like, and people don't believe it, but you know, I was a big guy twice in my life, so hence the reason why I just don't like running, man. It hurts. It's brutal. It sucks going out, and I'm gonna be gone for 2 hours, or I'm gonna be gone 39 hours.
Right.
Running on a 1 mile track. Who the fuck? I'm not crazy, man. That shit sucks. I mean, you know, people put me in this category of you must be some crazy guy who loves it. No, man. No, that's why I do it though. That's the only way to callous your fucking brain, man. It's the only way to get hard in life. People take these classes on mental toughness. Like even SEALs, you have the class about visualization, self-talk, eat an elephant one bite at a time, breathing control. Yeah, roger that. You got to put yourself in a hellacious situation. It's a lifestyle. How are you going to react? How are you going to react? Like all that training goes out the fucking door when you're in the fucking cold water and you're fucking miserable, and it's the first hour of 130 hours of Hell Week, and that first wave goes over your head, and you're the coldest you've been in your life, and your mind goes from hour 1 to hour 130. All that fucking self-talk and shit, dude, you ain't thinking about that. You think about getting the fuck out of here. But if you live this shit on a daily basis and you know how to calm your mind down, the self-talk will help. All that stuff will help. But usually we react. We have pain, we have suffering, we react. And we react about, get the fuck out of here. We got to go. It's those people who are able to control that fucking feeling of fucking flight and say, nah, motherfucker, there's a way through this. It's not going to be here forever. I'm not cold right now. I went through 3 of them. I'm not cold now. I'm in a nice warm studio with you. You got to think about that shit. The shit's going to end. It's going to end, but we don't know that. We don't think that. At that time, it's going to last forever. And then you get to sit back on Friday with everybody walking across the, back on the grinder, all the 16, 17, 18 guys that graduated Hell Week, and you get a chance to watch these guys victorious. And then you get the chance to think about that. You take that hot, warm shower, first thing that comes to your fucking mind is, why the fuck did I quit? So what keeps me going? I've quit several things. I know what's on the back end of fucking quitting. And it's a lifetime of thinking about, why the fuck did I do that? And I ain't fucking doing that no more.
There's something about talking to a guy like you that a lot of people hope that you're going to say some magic thing that's going to click in their brain.
Everybody
and
wants
it's change who they are. Like, what is it? What is the thing? That's why people go to these self-help conferences and they take these classes and they hope that someone's going to say something that changes the way their mind works.
It's hilarious to me.
It is. It's kind of hilarious to me too. But what is also hilarious is that what you're saying is that you have to do those things. You have to suffer. You have to live in it. You have to be comfortable in it. And then maybe some of that shit will help you a little bit along the way.
Period. And when I was a SEAL recruiter, I got invited to MIT. Smart ass motherfuckers there, man. I'm not that. I'm just a good animal. I'm a knuckle dragger. And there was this guy there, I forget his name, but he was like the top head guy. Old white guy, all geniused out. And we were on this panel, and they were asking us all these questions about the mind, mental toughness and shit, and he was answering them. And I wasn't answering many questions. And I'll never forget, he was just answering them off of theory. He never put his fucking ass in shit. You read a bunch of fucking books, and you think that you know how the fucking mind works and shit. I had gone through hell since a kid, and then all the way up until now.
Right.
So I know, so that theory is bullshit. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff out there you can read from people, but I had lived hell. And when you put yourself in hell, that's the only time you can figure out how the fuck to get through that motherfucker. You can't read somebody else's book about some theory on how to do shit. Some guy who sat up in their nice warm office and wrote some book with a nice cup of coffee in the fucking hand. No, I want to see that guy who immersed himself in fucking hell. And he thought about quitting and leaving and his wife and his kids. And why am I here? Is it worth it? All this crazy shit. And still said and found out a way to get through it. So basically, that's the bottom line of it all. We all want to read about how we can quickly get somewhere. That's why the 6-minute abs and all sort of shit is so powerful. You may get some results from it, but they're not permanent. The permanent result comes from you I say it all the time, you have to suffer. You have to make that a tattoo on your fucking brain so when that hard time comes again, you don't forget it. You may forget it for a second, but you can go back in the cookie jar, I call it. It's something that we've all endured. I call it the cookie jar, and we often forget how hard we are, but you got to reflect back. Take a couple seconds to reflect. I've been through this, I've been through that. And then remind yourself, I'm a bad motherfucker. And then you can get through that shit. But if you don't believe it, you haven't endured shit, you're just blowing smoke, man. And you're not going to be able to get through anything.
What was this guy saying? Like, what was his theories that he was throwing out there?
His theories was about, I forget exactly what it was, but it was something about what the mind does under stress. And how we can't, he said how we can't do something. And I did it. I did what he said we couldn't do.
Like, what was he saying you couldn't do?
It was something about if you're born a certain way, it's something about if you're born a certain way, you can't become this way. And it was totally saying that with who I am now, like I had to be born with some, not genetic power or some gift from God, but I had to have some kind of special gift. Had to have some kind of special gift. And I forget what set me off, but it was like we had to be, to be somewhere, you had to be born with it. What was the concept? And I know what I was born with, and I know the battle that I had in my mind. So when he said it, I just sat there, looked at my face, and somebody in the crowd asked me a question. And I totally contradicted everything he said. And I was like, nah, man, I mean, I fucking know for a fact that you can be this fucked up dude, like really fucked up dude, and with the right mindset And it sounds so easy with the right mindset.
It doesn't sound easy.
It's
I know what you're saying. It sounds like a simplistic answer.
Right. You can. But you have to go into those dark chambers that we often shut off, and you got to open them up. You got to open up and fight that fucking demon, get in there, talk to that motherfucker, say, what's up? And we all like to take this 4-lane highway, the easy highway. It has fucking signs, it has restaurants. We all love that 4-lane highway. We always step over the shovel. And all I did was I picked up that fucking shovel, and that shovel, I made my own path. And you may have big boulders and shit. They may be getting 200 miles up the road faster than you. But going through this path of life, this journey over here that you make yourself, that's incredibly difficult. What comes out the other end of that motherfucker is some glorious shit that you can't even explain to people. And we're afraid. Bottom line is, most of us, even the people who have all these theories and shit, it's easier to accept the fact that I'm just not good enough. I wasn't made to do that. And yeah, some of us can't be LeBron fucking James. But I'll tell you right now, man, we can do a lot of shit when it comes to this pure on guts and willpower and getting through shit. We have a lot more than what we think we have.
Yeah, the problem with a guy like that with his theory is that his theories are based on results. And those results are based on human beings. And most human beings, there's certain people that are born with certain gifts, like a guy like LeBron James, obvious physical talent. You know, John Jones in MMA, obvious like physical talent. But there's, when you look at someone who's super successful, you always assume that it has to be because of some sort of physical gifts, because people look at themselves, and I'm sure this doctor, this old dude, probably had like a little gut and probably
That's exactly how he looked.
Little tiny arms and weak shoulders, and probably thought, well, there's certain people that are just mesomorphic, and probably broke it down to all these scientific terms, and you know, they just have a fast twitch muscle fibers, and they'll say all this crazy shit that is true at the very highest levels of the winners. Right. But it doesn't mean that you can't become that. No. It just means that it's too painful for most people to go through, so very few people ever get there. So if you look at the actual results, he would be correct. But he's not correct because he doesn't take the shovel. Exactly. That's the moral of the story. There's not some easy, lit-up, street-like path with nice, smooth roads. That's right. It's a difficult motherfucker where you're going to fail, and you're going to be in your head. You could be saying, I'm not good enough. And it's how you get through that. It's how you get through that on a daily basis when that thing is saying, man, I'm 43, I've done so much. You start to become civilized. The refrigerator gets full. You start making money, and you start, I'm not getting cold anymore. I'm retired. At 40, people shouldn't be playing basketball or football or being in, you start to believe this shit. And it becomes in your fucking mind like, there's people who are retiring, you know, at 40-something years old or 30-something years old. At 43, I'm still putting in 100-mile weeks, still doing thousands of pull-ups, thousands of push-ups, because I'm not allowing myself to become civilized. The worst thing that can happen to a man is become civilized. You lose that fucking fight. You lose that, why the fuck am I doing this shit? I'm good. You ain't good, man. You ain't never fucking arrived. And that's just my mentality. You may have more, but you never fucking arrive. You want to be uncommon amongst uncommon people. Period. Uncommon amongst uncommon people is one of the greatest ways to put it. That's it. Like if you're like, for me, what got me in trouble with the Navy SEALs is I wanted to be one so bad. So bad. I fought my ass off. And I saw them as uncommon people. Very uncommon. But once you become a Navy SEAL, you're all Navy SEALs, so guess what happens? You're fucking common again. I wanted to be uncommon amongst uncommon people. I wanted to be the guy, I don't care if you fucking like me, I don't care if you don't understand me, I didn't give a fuck. Once I went through this fucking journey, this path of life, you ain't got, and there's a whole bunch of fucking guys that don't fucking like me. I don't give a fuck. I'm a warrior. Period. There's a lot of guys that have been in a lot more combat than me. A warrior is not always that. A warrior is a motherfucker who says, hey, I'm here again today. I'm here again tomorrow. I'm going to be here the next day. I'm 50 years old. I'm still fucking getting after it. It's a person that puts no fucking limit on what's possible. And that's what got me in trouble a lot. That's why I went to Ranger School as a SEAL. That's why I tried to go to Delta Force twice. You know, I've been through all these different training programs because I was looking for, in the military, what I saw is in the training, these people get their ass handed to them.
After they get out, a lot of them get civilized. I always wanted to go back into training. No matter where I was at, I wanted to go back to war. And the war was in that training program where you see guys who can quit, guys who are brutal, guys who are suffering, guys who are, so as a SEAL, you don't volunteer for Ranger School. I did. I put in 7 chits, got turned down, my 8th, got accepted. I went at 28, 29 years old. And they go, why did you go? Because I started becoming civilized. I started becoming complacent. I needed to get my fucking ass kicked again. And when you go as a SEAL going down to, you have no rank in Ranger School, you could be a major. You're just fucking Joe Brown. You're nobody. And you're not eating, you're not sleeping. So I always would I would immerse myself in shit like that. Even I would climb the ladder and I intentionally fall back down that motherfucker to say, all right, man, getting soft, dude. Getting soft. Kick your fucking ass again. And it's kind of the process.
Did you find resistance from that amongst other guys that didn't like that you were making them uncomfortable? Because that is something that there's a natural instinct that people have when someone's working harder than them to somehow or another diminish that person.
Well, I know that a lot of guys don't like me for a lot of reasons. And I realize that. I am a guy that doesn't care if you like me or not. And when you're an alpha male and you're against other alpha males, and we eat our own. Alpha males eat their own. And I love that shit. Let's fucking go, man. I want to eat. Hey, man, I'm all about that kind of mentality. But I would sometimes take it to another level. I wasn't part of a good old boy network. I didn't want to be part. I wanted to be David fucking Goggins. For too long in my life, and it got me in trouble. For too long in my life, I wanted to be accepted. Growing up, I lied. I fucking did what I could. If you fucking like UFC and I didn't, I love it. I love it, man. Let's go fucking watch it, man. Be my friend. Be my buddy. That fucking weak-ass shit. I found out through this path of life, who is David Goggins? Who am I? So going through I did it alone. There was no fucking trophy on the fucking wall on the mantle. That trophy's in my fucking brain. No one helped me get there. No one paid my fucking bills. No one did shit for me. No one ran those fucking miles, lost that fucking weight. I suffered on my own and developed this man who said, it's who I am, man. A very competitive, ultra competitive dude that take it what you want, man.
I call that personal sovereignty.
Exactly.
There's not a lot of people that have that.
That's me.
There's a lot of people that change who they are depending upon what people want from them.
And that's me.
Yeah, that's important, man. And most people struggle their whole life to find out who they are. Struggle their whole life to find out what defines them, what they actually enjoy and what they don't.
You start putting yourself in situations that suck, you'll find yourself.
Yeah.
You'll find it real quick.
That is the thing, right? And that's one of the things that I've gotten from paying attention to you is that what you're preaching, what you're talking about is finding yourself through struggle.
That's it. It's the only way to find yourself. You don't find yourself, if you like bench pressing and you bench press all the fucking time, what are you finding out? If you like to swim, that's all you want to do is swim, what are you finding out? Put that, people always, people talk about triple down on your fucking strengths.
Right.
That's the fucking weakest shit in the world. No, triple down on your fucking weaknesses.
Yeah.
Find out something about yourself. You already know the good shit. You already know the happy shit.
Right.
That's why on my Facebook page, everybody goes, why don't you talk about good times? You know how to get through that shit, motherfucker. You don't need a fucking, you don't need no one to tell you how to get through. It's happy.
Right.
That's easy shit.
Right.
I'm going to tell you how you can help yourself get through the times that suck. Real life. This is real life. 90% of your life will suck. 10% will be fucking happy. You may be a lucky guy and have a lot of fucking money, have a great ass woman, all this shit. Trust me, one-on-one with that fucking guy, he's missing something. His life still sucks because he hasn't faced something that bothered him his whole fucking life. Something is still eating that motherfucker up.
Almost everybody.
Everybody. Eating you the fuck up. But maybe you found a good way, how I did growing up, on how to ignore that voice that's saying, you ain't facing some shit. Period, man. I'm not special. I just stopped listening. I listened to that voice. This is why I talk so fucking aggressive. People say, man, do you believe in God? You cuss so much. When I say fuck, it's letting you know what I'm thinking. If I try to make it all pretty and shit, that's not what my life was. It was a violent struggle daily to get where I'm at today. I'm not going to water it down. I'm not going to water it down. Shit wasn't fun. It ain't fun today. I'm happy.
Don't you think that your happiness is probably elevated by the amount of pain that you've gone through?
100%.
So the amount of suffering that you understand, the amount of pain that you've gone through makes you appreciate the happiness and the beautiful moments with much more intensity.
That's what weak people miss about my story. Weak people hear this soft kid, oh my God, he must be miserable. Oh my God, what the hell's wrong with him? You're missing the fucking story. You're not listening to the story, man. Look what I overcame. If that doesn't put some badge of honor tattooed in your fucking brain for the rest of your life, that you can die today talking to Joe Rogan, you're missing the story, man. Am I happy? What the fuck do you think? Don't misunderstand the passion in which I speak for not being intensely happy. Happiest person in the world. But I'm not done. So I'm not going to speak to you like, oh man, everything is great. No, I have a lot more shit to do. A lot more shit to do.
What this is, in the same use of the word that you used, the warrior's mentality, the warrior's life.
Right.
This is the way that you can keep balanced and sane,
right,
and keep a good grip on who you are.
Period. And like there's a quote that was said, I don't know who said it, but it was a great quote. This guy said, going into combat, going into war, out of the 100 men that go into war, 10 shouldn't even fucking be there. 80 of them are just targets. 10 do most of, or 9 do most of the fighting. 1 is a warrior. And it's a true quote to life. I saw it going through training. I saw it everywhere I went. There's so many people who just show up to life that shouldn't even fucking be around. And there's few people who do all the work. I wanted to be part of that 9, and I'm working towards being that 1. And that's just how I live my life.
Back up. You're not in my thoughts at all.